G'day, welcome to session 43, I think this is, of my Oxygen Not Included game. So, a few things to address. Thank you for those who commented, and also Merry Christmas. We're a couple of days away from New Year, so Happy New Year's as well. One thing that a few comments that I do need to address, and so I will get them going, is first one was that I should move the incubators. Hopefully they're not going to be too hot up here. That should be fine. Move the incubators out of this room, because it's going to stunt the egg production, I think it was, of them. So, we'll get those built, then we'll remove those. Just make sure we give these back I'm meant to give this a higher priority than this, so let's give that a 3. And so that a generic 5 will be happier for these. Next comment that I quite liked was actually the best solution probably to the power issue that I have of these draining when these are operating is getting rid of some of the recreational stuff that I added. So let's have a quick look at energy on these. So power consumed is 50 watts. And same for that. So, I mean, compared to anything else that I use, I don't quite know what the difference is. But let's have a quick comparison to something. Let's say one of these guys. Assume that's most, right? There's a lot of information there. Refrigerator, 20 watts. I don't know. I'll trust it, but I'll just get rid of this. We'll try and just reduce the amount of power that we have that we're possibly using to... Not sure if there's too much else that we want to shift. Doesn't look like there's too much water in any of those. Did I stop that from operating? It's overloading. Possibly it's just reached the end of a circuit rather, where water's been pushed off. Okay, so we want to go hatchling egg, and then we'll go where's our stone hatchling egg? Stone hatchling egg. Oh, I've got to hit incubate, don't I? Hatchling egg. Hatchling egg. Stone hatchling. Stone hatchling. And then what we will do is we will say deconstruct, 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 deconstruct. What we were working on previously. Get over here and finish this building off. We might dig up that tile there, and we might also just put an airflow tile in the bottom of that. I was thinking about that too, that should I put an airflow tile in this room? I mean, there is oxygen out here at the moment. So if I put an airflow tile north of this point, it should hopefully stop that from overpressuring as much, because it's not just going to be this room it's got a pressure, it can actually sort of continue to pump north of there too. Try to dig out those squares too. Along with this door, let's get a large sculptor going, as well as our next bed. And once that is gone, or once that's done, we can pull one of these beds out of here. So we'll give this one to Barney. And we'll let Trivaldo and Turner can share a room in here. real thing of beauty, this just all the stuff pumping in all different directions through this little setup. Just even thinking about where I was in the first 10 episodes of this to say eventually you're going to figure out a system where this is fine. or you built this. Okay. Now the next thing that I wanted to address, along with moving those incubators and I guess that bedroom and reducing power, which reducing power certainly isn't a done deal here. We can certainly try and look at what else we can do there. So I suppose this is what we need to be paying attention to, just that power use and distribution of it, and work out what is actually our heavy users. The other thing was power station is what I need if I want to be able to do tune-ups on my stuff. I needed them to be in a power station, I believe. Power plant. So it requires power control station. Now what counts as a power control station? Is that literally just is that a power control station? Or is it an actual station? So what way can we look that up? Is there a way I can search through everything? Power control station. Not the jukebox. That one. Uses microchip to increase the power output of generators. Assigned duplicates must be set to the tune-up trait. This building is a necessary component of the power plant room. Okay. Power control station. So let's have a look at making one of those. So I think the way that we could do that is it only needed that station in it is the only thing it needs. So what we could do is make a room that is here. So this has a couple of benefits because it now means that potentially what you can do is you can walk across the top of this room to get to the this other side. But also what it means is that you can, like, we're just using essentially dead space that otherwise isn't being used for anything. I assume this is going to show up in here. No. The utility. Not power. So refinement. I don't know what it looks like. That's not giving me advantage here. Large power transformer. I realize I'm just looking at absolutely everything here, but it's just... There's certainly the hardest thing that I find in this game is it's just let me have a search function to go through all the different equipment. I mean, quite possibly it exists and I just haven't been able to locate it. But stations probably would have been a good spot to start. Okay, so first thing, I have made the room too small. So let's cancel this bottom row. Put one more tile down, one more across. Stations, my goodness. Okay. Then if we have a look at skills, you need someone who is an electrical engineer, and I have 3 electrical engineers. In fact, I have 2 Metatronics engineers. So, I think that I should be fine in terms of who can cover that. In fact, if we have a look at this, we can see that there's currently everyone. Everything is represented except for the rocket navigation. Which I assume are the new part of the new expansion stuff. They're the only things that no one has any abilities in, but at least one person does everything. Otherwise, quite good. I wonder if I need to build some airflow tiles through this, or if it doesn't much matter. It could just sort of be full of carbon dioxide. Just want to put another sort of 2 of those planters there, just so eventually I could possibly have more oxyfen down there. I realize I don't do a lot, but I feel like they're like a sort of long run thing. They could be good. I wonder if I can go find some oxyfen seeds. I don't recall what sort of environment they were located in. Someone did also comment that I could, if I need more power and I'm struggling, I could go for natural gas. I mean, I feel like I was digging down here to get to something else in this room. I don't remember what it was for anymore. But, I mean, I'm right next to that natural gas section now, so I could certainly use it in power. Assume what I just chucked that sort of somewhere nearby, and there's something else that's got to be in operation. That's built above a water reservoir. It requires natural gas, so I assume that what that would then mean is I can build that somewhere like up here, and then have, or even say up here, so it's above my polluted water, and then I just have a like a gas pump sitting in here that pumps gas out of that room and into the generator. I assume that what I'd do there is I'd try and put the pump in there, and then I'd reseal the room too. So I guess I could choose what refined metal I want. And that's a bit tricky, I think, because if I recall, I'm pretty low on copper and copper ore. But I think someone, it has been said to me that iron is a really late game important item, so I don't want to be using too much of that. So I'll just go copper for now. I guess we'll have a look to see what they do with it. I do feel bad the fact that they have to operate in this area, just in, like, no oxygen in this this section. We have a few people idle there. Just having a little bit of a look around to see what plants we've got. Anything worth pilfering? Yeah, I do want to do something with this as well. A little crabby. Not quite sure what the perfect ideal environment is for The oxyferns. Alright, let's try and get to that, maybe, because there's something frozen under there. Actually, this room is pretty much done for. Actually, it's fully outside the base anyway, so it doesn't quite matter. So, what's that? It's just sand. Okay. Build a ladder straight up here. I feel that sand will collapse on top of him, so let's go to the top side of that sand. And we'll dig straight across here. We don't need to go that far, so we'll get rid of those ones, because it's going to be a bit of a pain to try and dig through that section. We'll go straight up here. Say how you doing to that? Please what? Yeah, those guys. And then we'll address that door. Do any of the one critter rancher in, is that Trivaldo? No. Trivaldo does have a passion for it. He can do it. Just have to go through all three. So Trivaldo, you go help Hassan. Been able to guess that from just his hat. That's a pretty neat hat, Trivaldo. There you go, you can have a hat. I can see this little guy's... So, I mean, I assume at this point what I would have to do is then move him into the room manually. Otherwise he's just gonna... If I then choose to wrangle him. And there's Hassan getting, sorry, Trivaldo getting straight to it. In his snazzy suit. Already getting to work on that ladder. It's good to see. It is good to think as well that there's only 2 suits there and only 2 suits here. But now you can go either way to get to this. Although, does that mean that someone has taken a suit from here and then not put them back? This just seems to be stuff on the ground, which I assume means that people are coming through this way, going down, and then leaving this way to just abandon suits on the ground. Which isn't necessarily ideal. Which, if that's the case, maybe I should try and just lock this door. Or just sort of... or just get rid of the door and just block it off. It feels like that's just going to be a pain, that every single time someone goes through, they move the suits, and I'm going to have to keep sort of making sure they're doing it right, so... Let's just get rid of it. At first I was looking at it as a positive that there were 4 suits available for anyone doing work here, but now I can see it's just going to be a pain. So again, we've got to say, alright, deliver suits. Alright, so we've got this bed made, so that was going to be for Barney. So we can now get rid of Barney's bed. And new bed in there. Now, even something like, say, that light. I don't need it. Deconstruct that. Because that light there is basically doing the same work anyway. Overloading. Why is that one getting overloaded? There's too much stuff on that one part of the circuit. I assume it would overload because there's too much stuff that's being used on it, right? Is that just going to be mainly the jukebox that's causing it that sort of grief? Okay, so that bed can go to... we'll go Travaldo. We can construct that one. I assume that's going to mean that we don't have enough to make one more if the comfy bed said that there wasn't enough available when the guy was carrying it over. Yep, so we've still got to wait, so not long, Turner. I don't recall if there's any positive or negative to having a squeak, but I'll just reject everything there. I won't worry about bringing one in. Alright, how are we doing on our ladder up? Cool, let's just deliver 2 suits to those as well, so that hopefully that now that wall is built. We don't have any more of loss of suits. Guy there at the back, hopefully he's close. Yeah, 88%. So hopefully when he's sort of near done, then we could get last bed for Turner. These guys really aren't making that much crude oil for how long I've just sort of let them be. I can imagine, I can fully understand I could put more in there. I mean, the guys that are all the way the very south of the base here, I could certainly see the some of the work that they're doing. What are you guys getting from down here? Cactus. Oh, so they've got really high decor. Seems like a big cost if we get hit by some of those spores. It's making some nice progress there, but they're not something we need to focus on for a while. Now, I think I did say this in another one, but once the beds are made, I would like to see if I could set up a transit tube in a purely sort of like one station here sort of setup, or even like one station here, one station here. Just somewhere where, like, they can just do quick movements that, yeah, it's going to cost me, like, a bunch of plastic, but there's an achievement for it, so even it's over a distance, so if they eventually travel the distance required, then we'll be set. Now, I haven't caught anyone doing a power station update, but I am certainly curious to see how it works. You're just sleeping to have someone come in and just steal some sand from the floor. "91 tons of dirt, so things like oxyfern certainly shouldn't be a problem at all for a very long time." I guess that's one of my questions for this one. Is there anywhere that I should be looking to try and find more oxyfern? I don't recall where I got it from. Is there any particular sort of biomes where I'm more likely to locate it? I assume in sections that have... Well, I mean, I was going to say sections that have carbon dioxide with them, but I assume if they're blocked into a, like, section with carbon dioxide, they'll just turn it all into oxygen and then they'll be set. I mean, if I click on one, it might give me some of this information anyway, right? Oxyfern seed. Don't know what the seeds look like now. Suppose there's any way that I can try and search the map just based on a seed. I feel like I'm looking at lots of places where there's abundant wildlife. These ones. I can't see anything. I'll double check to make sure I'm looking for the right thing. Yeah. A snail shell. That sound I heard, was that getting enough thingy? Yeah, cool. I want to get rid of that. I want to put this guy right against the edge. Because I also want to get in like a large marble block. Give him a full landscape painting too. Give him one in there. And a large marble block. really treat them. They've got to share, they're the only people sharing a bedroom, so they may as well get one little perk of a painting. Seen plenty of seeds, but definitely no, none of the one I'm after. Funny that we have to just demolish the table, smash it. Try and get to these lockers as well. Yeah, I really should work on that natural gas, I think. That's my... one of my new goals. Overloading. Alright, talk to me about the overloading as well. I assume that my issue here is that the amount of power required for what this warp bridge is transmitting is greater than what that warp bridge is expected to handle. That it's needing to carry more wattage than what it is suitable for. And as a result, it's getting damaged. So my fix should be that I would take things off that circuit. Which could specifically just be this one thing. So let's try this. Let's go deconstruct that point there. Deconstruct this point there and that point. No. Keep that. Yes. Deconstruct that. Then what we will do is we will build this wire does that. That leaves this stuff without anything. So what we'll do is then run that across there. So that basically this jukebox is now operated solely by that transformer there. So if he's the problem, or if he's the heaviest thing that was on that network, hopefully it's going to address it. Got another guy wandering around down here. Let's wrangle him. It might be the same guy and they just never did anything with him after they wrangled him. Since it's sort of like they're not moving him or anything, I assume that must mean that this room's full. There's only 6 guys at once. I thought it was 8. But I could be misremembering that. Instead, all we do is we just torture this little stone hatchling to tie him up for a bit, and then he breaks free. That is quite a nice picture that she's done there. She liked the picture more than I like the sculpture. That maybe I should have just got him to put in a second picture. and good work of it there. What are you standing there just breathing the air for? Just put a mask on, buddy. Alright, that was a weird interaction. Yeah, we've already got one of these. I don't want him. Deconstruct it. Copy that and put it there. Just double. So it's decor 36, here's decor 42. It doesn't matter to me. You've just done a knockoff of your own work already, May. You want some originals. Yeah, it's the idea that you still hate the food. Imagine having eaten meal lice for 288 days and still be like, oh, this isn't for me. This is disgusting, right? I mean, I could totally imagine that it doesn't get better. But at least stop complaining about it, right? Alright, well this will be the last night that we'll play, but the last thing that I will do is I'll wait for Turner to destroy that. I will put in an order for a new one. Wait for Maida to do her work. It is exciting that we now have everyone sleeping in a comfy bed. Certainly something that we've wanted from the very start. And yeah, until next time, I'll catch you later. I guess the big question for me on this next one, this other one was, is there anywhere that I could probably go look for Oxyfern? Or otherwise, yeah, what else should I be doing? Hopefully getting towards that new discovery at the top too. But till next time, catch you later. See ya.